Hey everybody, Bob Paskins here. Let's get ready for another daily motivational drill. This week I want to talk about exceeding expectations. And today specifically, and a part of exceeding expectations is to do excellent work. Now, my first job, I'll take you back a number of years, was a corn picker in Minnesota. Oh man, it doesn't get much more glamorous than that. Well, sure enough, I would arrive at Cal's Market, my employer, at 6 o'clock in the morning. They would load all of the workers onto the truck and take us to the field. Where at the field, the foreman would yell, "Suit up!" And that basically meant was you would take this old belt and you put the belt around your waist. And the belt had 3 hooks, 2 hooks in front and 1 hook in back. And then the foreman would give you a big sack of burlap bags with other burlap bags inside. That was your daily allotment. What you would have to do is put all of your ears of corn in those burlap bags. So you would take that big burlap bag, hook it to your back hook, grab the bag out, hook it to the front, and then they would point you to the field. We would kind of waddle down to the field as you could, we were carrying all of these bags, and they would give you your row assignment. And on that row assignment, you'd have stalks on each side, and you would go down and you would grab ears of corn and stick them into your bag. Fairly mindless work. So you would do that. You would put 63 ears of corn in your bag, and then you would have these little labels, which in my case said, "Packed with Pride by Cornpicker number 6. My first title, Cornpicker number 6. So I'd put those in there as well, and then cinch that up, carry that off, and then get the second bag. And you do that and do that and do that until you're out of burlap bags. All right, well, at least at the end of that, we would go and we would pick up these bags, and it would come to at least my favorite part of the day, which was taking my picked bags over to the assembly area. In the assembly area, there was another team. This was the team of the inspectors, and typically the inspectors were the pretty girls. And so I kind of saunter up there, but I can tell you one thing, I didn't look good, I didn't smell good, I was probably sweaty, dirty, and all matted down with stuff even in my teeth trying to pick up these girls, which would take one look at you and say, you know what, why don't you go over there? But I say that because they had a job too, because they would inspect those 63 ears, find the best 60, and then take my label, and they'd have a label of their own, basically we would say, inspected with pride by inspector, say number 2. Put that in there, and then you would have your bags, a dozen ears each, that would go to the market to be sold. Now, one day, I was actually riding back in the truck with Cal, the owner of Cal's Market. And as we were going, he looked into the field and he saw a competitor. And the competitor had just purchased this giant combine, which was a corn picker. It would go and it would pick all the corn for all the workers. So it would take up basically my position, and so you just have the inspectors there. And Cal was looking at that and he just kind of shook his head and said, "You know what, that's just too bad." I said, "Why is that?" He goes, "You see, when the corn pickers, the combine, would pick the corn, they would damage it, they would bruise it. And by doing that, you would not get as good of a product as if you picked it by hand." And it was very important to him to pick it by hand because that showed the excellence. He said, and that's why we have 63 instead of 60. I know that 5 times 12 is 60, so we have 3 different ears. But those 3 different ears are in case one of the other ears upon inspection is damaged or has worms in it or has something. We would just discard that bad one and put in the good one. And he continued on. He goes, "But not only that, what you would do is when you would have your dozen ears, you would have both the inspector's little label and the corn picker's label in there. So we know who picked the corn and who inspected the corn. So we could really make sure that we were just delivering a great product to the customer. And they would know that at least it had been looked over twice, once by the picker and once by the inspector, to have the best ears possible." And I kind of thought about that as we were driving in to Cal's Market. He looked around and said, "And you know what, Bob? That's the fruit of the labor." And sure enough, as I was there, I could see a line out the door with people ready to get Cal's corn from Cal's Market. You see, here's the drill. Cal knew something very important. It was that in order to exceed expectations, you needed to do excellent work, which is why I picked more ears than I needed to, why it was inspected once by the corn picker as well as the inspector, why all of that was together in one package. Because people, when they were to get a bag of cow's corn knew that providing excellence exceeded the expectations. So here's the drill for you. Do excellent work. That's the first thing. Because when people see that, they're going to know that you do excellent work. The second thing is, have some way of showing it. Have some guarantee in there, some sort of item saying, you know what, I'm putting my money or my mouth where my money is. My money where my mouth is there. Where we have these little labels that show that we're doing excellent work. So find something there. The next part is, when you do that, others are going to start to tell others. You're going to build a reputation. You're going to build a brand. Every time you deliver a product, you build a brand. So build a brand on excellence. Because the truth is, if you build the brand on excellence, people will line up to do business with you and to do repeat business with you. So that's Bob Paskins for the Daily Motivational Drill, encouraging you to be engaged, to let your light shine, and to be a champ. Thanks, everybody.